Hey everyone, Eddie J on crypto. Hope you're having a great day. So we've got a few things to talk about. We've got Meta in the news. I don't know if you're a Meta fan, but for me, what I'm looking at, it's not making me happy. StockX and Nike. We have information about the SEC and Grayscale. Uh, we have some really cool things going on with regard to real estate and crypto, and then we'll get into the numbers and everything else about what I'm looking at. So first off, let's talk about Meta. They changed their name. Why? Not to align themselves to the metaverse. I mean, a little bit to align themselves to what the metaverse is going to be and everything, but really it was to escape all the negative press that they were getting when they were using the Facebook name about all the, nonsense going on their platform with regard to disinformation and everything else. Moving on, today's subject. They've actually filed in Brazil for trademarks for um, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin products and services to be sold there and performed there. One of the lines, and this was reported by Cointelegraph, one of the lines is design, development, and implementation of software for third party verification services for digital currency transactions, including but not limited to transactions involving Bitcoin currency. Um, ah, Sounds kind of generic to me. It sounds like what everybody else is currently doing, but they figured, well, there's no patent, so let's go for a patent. So nobody else can do that. I mean, there are probably tons of projects out there that you could point to and be like, isn't that what they do? And what they do, isn't that what everybody does? But whatever. We'll see what they're talking about. We'll see how that goes. I don't know how that's going to float. Um, it's going to be interesting to watch that play out. Then you've got in what is it, December or December? I think it was December or early January. You had StockX launch. It was January. You had StockX launch their NFT vault. Now, what it's supposed to do, what it's supposed to be is here's, StockX is the, secondary market for shoes, right? Mostly Nikes, but they do Yeezys and a whole bunch of other things. My kids have purchased from StockX before. They've sold to StockX, so very into it. Um, but it's supposed to be here's an NFT. You're not really buying the NFT. The NFT represents what you're holding in their vault because a lot of they actually facilitate a lot of trades. So you're getting the NFT, but you're really getting the shoe that comes along with it in that secondary market. And I guess it became a little bit too big for Nike, and Nike was like, "Whoa, wait a minute! You're confusing people. You're making people think that this is Nike, and it's not. We're not affiliated with you." And let's see how that plays out. Now, Nike has a really good case for trademark infringement from a layman. I'm not a lawyer or anything like that, but it looks interesting to me, and it looks like they have a strong case. But it also looks like, StockX could have a good defense, right? These are people where they're holding their shoes and all they're saying is, or most likely they're going to say, well, we're using NFTs as proof of ownership of the shoe that we're holding. I'm thinking that maybe they'll have to, change what the NFT is because I think they might be using actual Nike logos and emblems and things like that within their NFTs. So it's going to be interesting to find out how that plays out. Me, I would have probably done it differently. I probably would have said, well, if I'm doing proof of ownership, if I'm using NFTs as proof of ownership, I'm probably going to use my own logo and have an actual picture of the product so that, you can't say anything. Because if I'm holding product, you can't really cry about that. And if you do, okay, then let's go to court and we'll fight it out. And that's again what's going on right now. So I'm going to be interested to find out like how that actually plays out when you have a store that's selling product and the manufacturer saying, "Hey, stay in your lane," and it's kind of like who's right and who's wrong. They both have good reasons. So that's actually, I'm pretty sure that's going to set precedent. I'm really sure because Nike, as a part of their suit, they're saying, well, we bought this company, um, RTFKT, and we're launching new things with that brand obviously under the Nike umbrella. So that's going to be a very big deal about how that plays out, because if Nike can make the case, because they're saying, well, you're confusing the customers, and there is a little bit of confusion there, but everybody that's buying from StockX knows who StockX is and knows what they do. So how much confusion are you actually causing? And I think it's because there's confusion in what Nike's bringing into the NFT marketplace, and not just NFT for the sake of NFTs, but NFTs for use within the metaverse. So they're coming with a whole big gamut of things that they're attacking the market with. So that's going to be very interesting to watch play out. Something that's actually bothering me is the SEC, in their long line of denials of ETFs, electronically traded, funds, whatever. They denied Grayscale again for creating their ETF around cryptocurrency, and it's a long line, including who is it? Bitwise and NYDIG, NYDIG, and you sit there and you're kind of like, how come you guys aren't up on your game? How come the SEC is dragging their feet, kicking the can down the road, and not just coming to a decision and saying yes, because it's going to happen. Other countries have allowed, Bitcoin or cryptocurrency ETFs. So what's the drag, guys? What's the problem there? So it's going to be interesting to see that finally play out, because I think they're saying no to so many different companies that the question is now becoming, okay, why? Specifically, why? Tell us specifically why. Don't give us such a broad stroke that, well, you haven't really satisfied our fear of manipulation and liquidity, and just. But what is the bar? Specifically, what's the bar that we must hit? Now, I'm pretty sure that Grayscale is going to come back at it. They'll respond to everything and then go after it again. But I really do think that the SEC needs to make a sound ruling, and they need to figure it out, because cryptocurrency isn't going anywhere. It's not going away. It's going to be here. So how about you figure out how to work with it and stop wasting everybody's time? That's really what it's coming down to, and I think that's what all of the developed nations are going to have to cope with. Cryptocurrency's here to stay. It's not going away. We're going to have to figure out how to work with it. If we're going to treat it as a thing where we can charge capital gains tax on it or whatever, cool. Just set the rule. That's it. That's what people are looking for. Just set the rule and leave us alone. But hopefully we'll get there. I'm confident that we'll get there. It is a lot to deal with. I mean, it's not like the SEC has an easy job, right? Our SEC is not everybody else's SEC. They're going to go through what they need to go through, and they're going to do what they believe is going to protect the United States citizenry when they're dealing with crypto. I just wish that they would get there quicker. That's all. Something that's really cool in the real estate market is Gene Simmons is selling his $13.5 million Las Vegas mansion. Now, another rich person selling their mansion, you're kind of like, whatever. What's cool about this is he said, listen, I'll take fiat, right? I'll take the US dollar. I'll take fiat. But I'll also take Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Polkadot. And he has a litany of ways that you can pay him for this $13.5 million, mansion that is owned by the legendary Gene Simmons. I mean, that you're buying a piece of nostalgia right there. So, there's a lot to be able to say that, I own the Gene Simmons house. That's kind of cool. But the fact that he's willing to accept cryptocurrencies as payment, that's really cool. So imagine if somebody came up to him and said, here's $13.5 million in Bitcoin right now. Boom, done. Well, Bitcoin, we'll get to this, but I think Bitcoin's on the rise. So imagine how much money. So thank you for my 13.5 million. In 3 weeks, it'll be worth, 33% more. That would just be insane. Another thing on the real estate front is you actually have a Tampa Bay home that is being sold as an NFT. The auction will start at $650,000. That is nuts. And it's nuts because, I had a conversation with one of my friends the other day. I think it was Elliot. Oh yeah, just want to give a quick shout out to my niece. Hey, Yasmin watches my videos, and she'll binge watch, when she can and figure it out. But proud of her, just like my kids, but proud of her because she's working full time, going to school, getting her education, and still getting her hustle on. Love you, baby. Um, but looking at this house being sold for $650,000, well, that's the starting bid, 650 grand, being sold as an NFT. Now, I've been saying for a while, and I had a conversation with my friend the other day, and I said, yeah, NFTs are really going to disrupt the market if they're implemented well, because a transaction like real estate is perfect for a smart contract, right? I mean, just simple things like proof of ownership, proof of title, no liens against the house, all that stuff. You check off all the check boxes, and then boom, house gets transferred over, money gets transferred over, boom, done. How fast is that? I think the real disruptive space is you might be able to move titles, title searches into that NFT space, and you'd really be able to do something. So now everything that pops up, I mean, think about it, everything that pops up for a particular, property would find itself as a piece of information via, let's say, Chainlink and the largest oracle, and have it show up, and bing, here's all the information that gets built for that property. And during the real estate transaction, you'd be able to see everything happen right there instead of having to go search for it later. Everything would actually just naturally coagulate around or aggregate around that property. And then you can create an NFT, boom, 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 everything's minted, done. Contracts minted, everything, and then just done. How fast would that be? And the record is on public ledger. That would be nuts. So talk about, just taking things to the next level. I think that would just be awesome. Um, so I just look at things in terms of that usefulness. How can something be used? I can buy, property, I can buy cars, I can buy almost anything with cryptocurrency. I'm about to start moving into the NFT space so I can actually use it as proof of ownership of a home. I think that's going to be phenomenal as you move forward. NFTs, smart contracts, tokens, they're already being used in things like logistics. When I receive product, like my glass of wine, here's to you. When I receive this, it's in good condition, right? It smells good. Awesome. I sign off that I have received it well. Immediately money transfers to the person that sold it to me. Because, not just a regular bottle of wine, but maybe a collectible or something, or just whatever. But contracts are, smart contracts are already in logistics. So I'm paying attention to the more usefulness in the cryptocurrency space, whether it's straight up cryptocurrency, smart contracts, NFTs, metaverse. What's that usefulness that's actually happening to make me come into the market, make more people come into the market? And I think it's there. I think we're so close to, I mean, we're almost mainstream with cryptocurrency. Rebel Reach, my hosting platform, we're implementing, cryptocurrency acceptance. We should have that done within a couple of weeks. So we already have an e-commerce platform. People can create their websites and, sell things on the platform. My mother's already selling things on the platform. She sells jewelries. You can go see her stuff on stylesbypaula.com. Pump out for mom because she's mom. But you can already do that. But now imagine if you can easily accept cryptocurrency. Done deal. Transactions happen faster. The vendor gets their money faster. The purchaser gets their goods faster. There's more trust that's developed. And now you're moving things to a higher level, to a faster level, to a more efficient level in terms of goods and sales and services and all that thing. So commerce would happen more efficiently and be more accountable. But anyway, those are just my thoughts. Those are the big things that I'm taking deep dives into. We do have to revisit what's going on or follow along with what's going on with the whole Meta trademark in Brazil. I do want to revisit, when I hear more about StockX, I want to do a little bit more research in the whole, Nike lawsuit, trademark infringement lawsuit against StockX, and how that goes and how that plays out. What are the details? So I haven't gotten everything yet, but I definitely want to take a deep dive into that, because Nike's making a huge play in the metaverse, huge play in NFTs. They're there. They've got product, so they can easily create this back and forth between, we've got product and we've got NFTs. We can sell one by itself, the other by itself, marry the two and sell you the package. It's going to be awesome. So I'm just looking at how that would play out, because I just find it interesting. Manufacturer that also sells direct, and stores that are reselling. That story is going to be big. The SEC, I need to follow how they're playing out with everything with Grayscale, because if Grayscale is able to do this ETF, that's going to be huge and really help to explode, and blow out the cryptocurrency market. So that's a big deal. Anyway, let's start to get into the numbers. There's a lot going on that I think we're going to like. So a few days ago, we were at, 11. We got all the way down to 11, I think, on one of these days. There it was. Where are you? I keep passing it, but we were down to 11. Even if you just said it was 13, right now, the fear and greed index is up to 37. That's good. You're starting to move into less fear, right? So now you're you're fearful, but you're not all the way down here where it's really bad. So if you look at what's going on here, doesn't that kind of look like this when everything started going up a bit? Yeah, that's starting to look like that. Doesn't it look like this where, things started getting better, and like right here, it shot up, then it came back down a little bit, and then it shot up, and then it came way down, and then it just went on a roar, just went ripping. So each time I see this, I'm wondering if this is a bellwether. I'm not going to say that, oh, Bitcoin's back, this is it. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, pay attention. This is a good time to pay attention. I've been telling you for a while, when the market was down, it was a good time to buy, right? I've been saying all those things. These are the things that we're talking about. Something else that I want to show you is all the winners and losers. Now, like I said, when I look at these charts are, changed every minute. They're updated, I think, every minute or something like that. So right now you have winners, obviously over here, winners. Look at those numbers. Again, I'm not paying attention to SafeMoon right now. I just don't. But they're doing what they're doing, but that's not something I want to be involved in, because I've seen them go up by 180 and I've seen them go down by 180. They've been on both of these charts. They've been at the top of the winners chart. They've been at the top of the losers chart. I have no idea what they do. I'm not even interested in trying to find out. Just not. But you can see that winners are beating the losers. Look at those numbers and look at these numbers. That's pretty good. Something, so like I said, I go through the list and I see who's doing what. What I'm paying attention to in our journey portfolio, you want to know who's in it? Gala. Look at Gala right here. Look at that. Up 51%. 51%. That's huge. Sorry, my bad. 51 and a half. But still, that's huge. So I'm paying attention to Gala because that's a nice chunk in our portfolio that we're following. And I'll show you the portfolio in a little bit. There was another one that I had seen. I'm not holding this, but I know one of my friends is holding HNT, but I believe that's Helium. And they've been up almost 11%. Earlier today, they were up 15%. So imagine, a little while you were up 15, now you're only up 10. That was a 5% swing. In cryptocurrency land, you can have big swings like that real fast. But imagine, you could have come in the morning, come in last night, put in some money, woke up this morning and you're up 15%. You shave off because you're up 15%. Now they're down to 10%. You could buy back in thinking that they're going to go back up. You can play these games if you actually want to trade, right? I'm not a trader, so I'm not trying to trade, but I do pay attention to those things. So my friend Elliot likes to stay within the top 50 currencies. So here you've got entries by, again, Gala's mine, but it's number 58, not paying attention to it for him. But you have AXS at 37. You have number 38, which is the Sandbox. That's something to pay attention to. They're up almost 11.5%. You have number 49, which is what I was telling you about, Helium. They're up over almost 11%. So these are things that we're paying attention to as we move forward. I forgot what this one is, but number 45 is up 7%. These are all things where people are making money and they're seeing upticks. Now you can play these upticks, so you hit your percentage. Who is it? Warren Buffett says, well, when I hit 10%, I'm good. I'm taking my money because I've got a 10% gain. But he's playing with such big numbers that it makes sense. But you would set your number, and when you hit your number, you take your profit. It's not a profit until you take it, right? So you sell high, buy low, sell high, buy low. That's all we're looking at. But I'm also looking at the flip side to see, are there any deals here? Is there anybody here that I'm paying attention to, or that gives me pause to say, oh, I should pay attention to this? And I'm not seeing any names here that are really driving me to think about anything. Number 36 might make me look, maybe, don't know. You have Cell at 91, down 2%. That's basic to me. 2%, it's basically flat. But those are the things that I'm looking at that I would first call attention to. Let's take a look at the other numbers. And you have, let's come out of the favorites and let's go for the general look to see who's there. There you go. So Bitcoin still up past 2 days, 9.42, or 7 days, 9.42%. Today it's up. Look at that number. They're battling at 41,554. And I told you that the resistance level is at 42,000. That's the resistance level. If we blast through 42,000, I think we'd be off to the races. I'm happy to see Bitcoin at the 41 where it is now. I'm going to be really interested when they blast through 42,000, because I think that's when you're going to see all the cryptos just start to take off. You have Ethereum also taking off above 3,000. They were above 3,000 yesterday. They've been bouncing. They hit below 3,000 a little bit earlier today, and now they're back up. But that's something I'm paying attention to, because just 2-3 days ago, it was at 2,400. 2,400. So you're looking at big swings where you could be in the money. Solana's had big problems, and they're still up almost 4% or 3.5% over the past 7 days, up 21%. So you can start to see that things are starting to look more than just a little bit positive for the market. So keep your eyes open. Here's Mana, Decentraland, 5%. They still have a lot of congestion, but still people love it and they're using it. We're into algo, so that's something that we're looking at. Past 7 days, up 5.5%. These are things that we're looking at. These are really things that we're paying attention to. So let's just go back to our favorites. And again, looking at Cardano up at $1.13. I'm happy about these kinds of moves, because everybody's starting to move up, and one ship rises, all ships rise. But in a little while, you're going to start paying attention to who's rising faster than who else, because you might get into that one before you get into the others, because this one's rising faster or could rise faster. So these are things that I'm paying attention to. You have crypto.com, up a bit. They're at 44 cents, almost 45 cents. Chainlink is up a bit. So you're just paying attention to who's doing what. The Sandbox up 11.11%. Helium, HNT, that I was saying before, up 11.25%. So you're seeing big moves. Gala is up. That's why I was screaming earlier. Gala's up 55% in a day. In a day. And I haven't taken a deep dive into what the news is, but I do know they have a lot of things going on that's going to see their gaming platform, their metaverse gaming platform, like play to earn games are coming, or more of them are coming. So there's a lot going on in the Gala space. So I'm paying attention to that in a major fashion. The other one I'm paying attention to is UFO. They're not up today. They're down 5.71%, but in the past 7 days, they've jumped 63%. 63%. They've got games coming, play to earn. They're doing things on their platform that people should be paying attention to. So just keep looking, keep doing your research, do your own research. Here's a little note. I'm never going to recommend a broker. It's a personal thing. I'm never going to recommend a broker, and I've yet to meet a cryptocurrency broker that I feel holds their weight. I'm not going to listen to them. I'm just not. Do your own research. You want to talk about stocks, bonds, all that kind of stuff? Yeah, go talk to a real broker, certified, has their series, whatever, 763, whatever it is that they need to have their licenses in. Go talk to those brokers for stocks, bonds, and everything else. But I'm never going to recommend anybody as a broker for cryptocurrency. I saw a couple of comments on my videos where people were talking about somebody. I'm not going to use any names, but I felt it was a scam. I deleted the notes. If I see something that looks scammy or anything like that, tell me, and I will research it, and I will kick them off. Not a problem. I won't mention any names, but definitely I actively pay attention to who's talking yap in comments, and you get these bots that'll come in and basically have a conversation with themselves with a whole bunch of fake fictitious accounts. I pay attention to that. Okay, I hope you do too. So do me a favor, if you like what I'm doing here, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification so that you know when I'm dropping a new video. Hope you have a great day. This is Eddie J on crypto. Have a good one.